The soft glow of the fireplace cast long, dancing shadows across the living room. Outside, a gentle rain whispered against the window panes, a soothing lullaby in the quiet of the evening. I curled deeper into the embrace of the old armchair, a book resting unread in my lap, the warmth of my tea a welcome comfort. This house, a gift from a grandmother I barely knew, had become my safe place. Its thick walls seemed to hold generations of quiet peace, and the steady tick-tock of the grandfather clock in the hall was a comforting heartbeat in the silence. As the night wore on, a draft seemed to sneak into the room, a chill that had little to do with the dreary weather. I rose to add another log to the fire, and that's when I saw it. The old wooden rocking chair in the corner, Grandma's favorite, was moving. It swayed with a slow, deliberate rhythm, as if someone had just risen from it. A draft, I told myself. Just a draft. But a small, cold seed of unease had been planted. Later, on my way to the kitchen for another cup of tea, the familiar hallway felt strangely long. The shadows thrown by the dim night light seemed to stretch and writhe like living things. The once comforting tick-tock of the clock now sounded like a slow, patient counting. In the kitchen, the back door, which I always locked, was slightly ajar, letting in the damp night air. A knot of fear tightened in my stomach. I slammed it shut and drove the bolt home, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. Back in the warmth of the living room, the feeling of being watched was so intense it was hard to breathe. I scanned the room, my eyes darting into every darkened corner. The rocking chair was still. The windows were black mirrors, reflecting only my own frightened face. Then I heard it. A faint scratching sound. It seemed to come from inside the walls. It scurried for a moment, then stopped, only to start again, closer this time. Rats, I tried to convince myself. It's an old house. It must be rats. But the sound was too steady, too purposeful. The scratching noise traveled up the wall, then seemed to move across the ceiling. A floorboard creaked in the room directly above me. I froze, my teacup rattling in its saucer. It was a slow, heavy creak, the sound of someone trying to move without being heard. My breath caught in my throat. I was not alone. My hand closed around the heavy iron poker from the fireplace. It felt cold and clumsy in my trembling grasp. The creaking upstairs continued, slow and deliberate, moving towards the top of the staircase. I had to get out. Now. Moving with a silence I didn't know I possessed, I backed away from the fireplace, towards the front door. Every tiny groan of the floorboards under my own feet sounded like a scream in the oppressive silence. The brass doorknob was ice-cold against my palm. I turned it, wrenched the door open, and fled into the rain-soaked night, not daring to look back until I was bathed in the safe, yellow light of a distant street lamp. The police came, their flashing lights painting the old house in jarring strokes of red and blue. They searched the house from top to bottom. They found nothing. No intruder. No signs of forced entry. They were polite, but I saw the skepticism in their eyes. Old houses make strange noises, one of them offered with a placating smile. It's easy to let your imagination run away with you when you're all alone. They left, and I was once again alone, though I refused to go back inside. I would spend the night in my car and leave this place for good at first light. Sitting in the driver's seat, the adrenaline began to fade, replaced by a shaky sense of foolishness. It had all been in my head. The spooky old house, the loneliness, it had all combined to create a vivid nightmare. I even managed a small, weak laugh. Then, my phone lit up. A text from a number I didn't recognize. My hand still trembled as I opened the message. My blood turned to ice. It was a picture. A picture of me, asleep in the armchair earlier that evening, bathed in the soft light of the fire. It had been taken from the corner of the room. From the exact spot where the rocking chair stood. Then, a second message appeared. You should have locked the door. It's drafty in here.